So I should have the Z offset set correctly. I just was fiddling with that for the last hour before I figured out I was a moron, and it was a really simple thing. Let's just make sure this works. So I have these two cameras. The top left is the just wide angle, it's just webcam I have set up on the corner. Then the big camera right now is nozzle cam. When I pick up the tool, we'll just be looking straight at the nozzle. And then I also have this one, which I can pick up and move around. It's just my phone. This looks like it's all working. Let's go here. And just check. Right now, the bed is hot. The nozzle is not hot. So I'm going to go start the print and see how we go. I just uploaded it from my desktop. Yep, starting to move. So right now it's homing Y. We'll come back, touch our funnel limit switch on the left side. And then we'll go to home X. No, I'm not Alexa Real, man. If that was me, I would not be working. So now I think it's preheating the tool. Yep. I'm assuming it's going to pick up the tool after this. I would hope. And this is the first time I'm sending any, like, printing G-code to the printer. I've sent to, like, movement stuff before just to try to test the limit of the tool retention, which I couldn't find, so it should hold on. Yeah, I couldn't shake the tool off. If the nozzle crashes into something while it's printing, that might cause it to fall off. And I haven't set up the detectors yet to detect whether or not the tool is on or off. So I do still need to do that. Nozzle's just past 215. And it should be starting now. Okay, good. Looks like it's going to go pick it up. Just grabbed it. Okay, turn on the LEDs. Why are you putting it away? Okay, now it's putting the tool away. Picking it up again. Obviously has some stuff I need to sort out. And it's trying to print. It's not extruding yet. Look, I just heard it pop. Nope, now it's going down. It's not sticking. stop this, I'm going to put down some more bed adhesive. I should store the tool. That went better than it could have. Another thing that was probably causing an issue right there is I had the Z baby stepping set to be pretty far from the bed, just because I wanted to make sure I wasn't crashing into the bed. So that's why I wasn't sticking initially. Towards the end, I'm not sure. Another thing I'm going to do right now is turn down the acceleration and jerk. Right now the acceleration was, oh wow, 30,000 Gs. Let's knock that down to 1,500. Around, what am I doing? Yeah, 15,000. No, I don't know why I had it that high. That's probably when I was doing testing. And 1.9 amps for X and Y, 1.5 for Z, 800 milliamps for the extruder. Maximum speeds don't matter. Jerk I have set to 900 for X and Y, that should be fine. Reset the board. I'm putting the bed back to 100. The bed PID isn't correct. If it gets too cold, it kind of struggles to get back up. I don't know what the problem is, but it's not accepting the PID values I send it. But like that I have saved in config G and config override.g. So I manually have to send it a new one. But if I'm heating it from cold, when it's already hot, it seems to be working fine. Just a weird quirk. Okay. Right now, motors are off. So I'm gonna send it to file again. Oh, it also didn't do mesh bed leveling. Oh. I don't know why it didn't do that. The bed's flat enough, that shouldn't have mattered though. Let's start the print again. So right now, it's going through the homing sequence. Right now it's homing. This is a little purge mechanism. The idea is that it purges the nozzle on that aluminum, and then the servo goes and wipes it away. But I haven't gotten that working yet. So it's going to 0, 0 for it to heat everything up. I should really make a scene that just shows the duet interface. Right now it's heating the hot end. One back here. It's heating that guy up. Oh, one thing you can see is the glass bed right now is kind of off at a funny angle. That's because I need to get countersunk screws for it so that the screws that hold the bed down to the standoffs don't sit proud of the surface of the plate, but I don't have them yet. I just ordered them a couple days ago, so they should be here in about a week. But for now, I just have it set up weird. As you can see though, it's fairly good at picking up the tools. Oh, that nozzle cam looks so cool. That's not a good sign. It's fine. Hey, it's oh fuck, it was sticking. Looks like I still need to make the nozzle go a little closer. Cancel that print. It looks like everything else is okay though. I need it to put away the tool. It shouldn't be making that noise. As in it wasn't before. It's interesting. Not now. I'm gonna go mess with Kira to try to get it to do mesh bed leveling. Because what I can do is I can just manually tell it to do mesh bed. I'd rather have it just do it before the print. Yeah, it's just G20 to G29. So I'm going to be right back. Huh. It doesn't want to do it. That'd explain it. It's saying there's no grid for probing. But I have that. Oh, there's a typo in it, that's why. Okay, so what happened is in the M557, I forgot a colon. I was just messing it up before the stream started. I was changing the parameters for the mesh because the bed is kind of wonky. I had to define the mesh to be in a smaller area. So now, if I get rid of all these errors, should be able to measure that mesh. Once again, it's just homing everything right now. Right now it's homing the wiper. And now it's measuring. Perfect. I don't know how obvious this was, but for the Z probe, there is there's just okay, it's back. There's just a little micro switch right there. It's the same exact one that the E3D's Toolchanger uses. So I just bought what they spec'd because they already did the work to find a good one. So why would I do it as well? And it's a great little switch. I'm also using that on the on these tool heads, on the print heads right here. I have one here and one on the other side, and these push against the grabbing mechanism to detect whether or not the tool is actually picked up. And I just have them, I'm going to have them connected as just a filament sensor. I don't have that set up right now because I want to make sure I can get a print first. Right now the baby's stepping set to minus 0.3 millimeters. Then go job, start the benchy, see how this goes. right now it's heating the bed to 100, then it's gonna heat the nozzle or the hot end, and then it's gonna pick up the tool and then put the tool away, then pick it up again to print. I need to fix that. It's kind of funny though. Pretty good demo of how it's actually fairly repeatable. Yeah, I mean the tool is back in the same position every time. One kind of funny thing is that right now, the setup where I'm streaming from is just my laptop on top of my big printer. So, it's been a size comparison for this new one. It's a lot smaller. This is 12 by 12, and the big printer is 18 by 18. It's a good sign that it's measuring the bed mesh. So the way my start G-code works is that it homes everything, heats up the bed, then homes Z again, and then it measures the bed mesh, and then it'll heat the nozzle or the hot end. And then after it heats the hot end, it'll pick up the tool. So it's going to 0, 0, or the position it homes to, more or less, to heat up the nozzle. And what I'm actually going to do is, once the hot end hits 180, I'm going to have it extrude 10 millimeters of filament, just so it's already primed. Phase set being set to -0.3. That's just because I don't have the offset set correctly. So we just hit 175, so I have to extrude. So what it should do is, after the nozzle is heated up, it'll extrude. Because on rep firmware, it only will, the nozzle preheating command is, it won't do anything while the nozzles or the hot end is still preheating. These resonances are very loud. Never shooted. Still looks a little far, so I'm going to drop it down. Why doesn't it want to stand? Now that's way too close. Switch the nozzle camera. it's printing. And this print head is just held on with magnets. I do hear some funny noises I don't like. But from the nozzle cam, it doesn't look like the print head's shaking around. This is very exciting. Another thing I should point out is that the nozzle LEDs right now, only 2 of the ones in the back are lit up. I think when I was fixing something, I broke one of the LEDs, and so only those 2 were lighting up. Because there's supposed to be 2 on the same side of the hot end that the camera's on, and 3 on the far side. And right now, only the left LED and the rear LED and the center LED on the back are shining. Man, this is working. This is ABS printing at 220, that is 100. Chamber heater isn't installed yet, so it's off. Oh, driver's overheating. I don't have any fans on them. That's bad. Let's see if it dies. It's driver 4. That I believe is, I think that's this motor. So what I'm going to do is drop the current that's going to those. So I just dropped the currents to the A and B drives. So mad at me. To 1500 milliamps. It was 1900. Should have done that earlier. So I don't have any airflow over them. There are a lot of weird resonances that are coming through. Oh, this is so cool though. Set this guy up right here. Should be safe in that position. Oh, this is going great. Okay, it doesn't want that there, it's just vibrating. So I'm going to go back to nozzle cam. Get that out of the way. Honestly, the quality's looking pretty decent. Maybe? Maybe not. Could be worse. Better than the first print on big printer. Bugs here. Okay, since I dropped the current to the drivers, there have been no more high temp errors or warnings. Dude, it works. So on the wall, I can already see some fairly significant reading on the left corner, back left corner, if you're looking at the nozzle cam. I am very pleased with the fact that this is even working. I had a handful of people tell me that magnets just wouldn't work. Ran into my fair share of problems, especially regarding fans on the print head not liking being close to magnets. I kind of brute forced the fix for that by just gluing magnets onto the fans. Because that kind of deflects the magnetic field from the big magnets in a way that the fans will still run. But they don't run nearly as fast, so I am losing a lot of performance from them. But they spin, which is better than it was. Like, I'm probably going to have a fair amount of heat creep. Or the heat sink's going to heat up a bit more than it should. Especially because the airflow path is just fairly constrained. Right here. That's how we're looking. Nowhere near perfect, but it's pretty darn good for a first print. Yeah, I am very happy with this. You know, I also never did any extruder calibration. It looks like it's under extruding a bit. It's a Sherpa Mini. I think I have the E-steps just set to 420. I'm so excited that this is working. This went a lot smoother than the first print on Big Printer. And quality already looks to be about on par with Big Printer. Big Printer's not very good. What's the learning experience though that I put into this new guy? Yeah. I'm gonna grab the moving camera, put it down and try to show you some of how it's looking. I'll just do this so you can see all the cameras. If you look, it's actually not too bad. There is some ringing in there. It does look like it's under extruding. But I would say the quality is fairly acceptable so far. Which is very exciting. Can I zoom? Oh, I can. Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, so this right there is what grabs the tool. This is the print head itself. It's held on with magnets and it detaches and is stored on these little posts. This is just 5mm steel rods. Yeah, it's working. And on the inside, I have, well, random crap in the bottom. But spots for 4 spools. The little purge wiper thing. The bed assembly, it's all aluminum plate that's brazed together. I don't have any easy way of cutting like nice shapes into it, so I just left this a solid piece. Yeah. Turn on flash. There we go. You see, the brazing's not very good, but it works. Strong enough. And the bed is stupid rigid. Like, I can like move the whole printer by grabbing the bed around. It's actually kind of cool. It's on my big printer right there. The bed is nowhere near rigid, and it was caused a lot of the problems it has. Probably should have used PLA. I hear it's starting to crack. This is ABS. Oh, but it works. But one kind of cool thing, if you look at the nozzle, see how it's completely blacked out. That's because I was having issues with the glare coming off of the nickel plating on the copper block. And to solve that, I just held a lighter on it and to get the soot to deposit on it. I think Applied Science did a video on it when he was trying to make like Vanta Black or something. And it's very dark and it absorbs a lot of light and it's doing its job. Here are the wonderful VzBot parts. They work great. Instead of using steel screws, I used just some carbon rods. That wasn't for weight saving or anything, it's just I didn't have steel screws or shoulder bolts the right length. And I had a bunch of carbon rods, so I just got them down. Yeah, very happy with the VzBot design. I'm using NEMA 23s. I have it geared up right now. So this is less torque, but I guess it's also only now, what, 3.6 degree steps. So I probably am going to swap these back around at one point. I just was doing that when I was trying to get the print head to fall off, doing some rapid movement, but I couldn't get it to. Yeah, that's... I should have the motors geared the opposite way. That's not very... Well, I'm just losing some... It's a lower resolution than having them geared the opposite way. The opposite way, it would act like a 0.9 degree stepper. When these are these are 1.8 degree steppers. But if I geared them so the 20-tooth pulley was on the other side, it'd be kind of like a... it'd have the same steps per millimeter as a 0.9 degree stepper motor. Oh, the nozzle camera, it's just a little endoscope cam. If you look, the nozzle cam's a little tilted right now. It's because when I was putting it in, I put the set screw in and I tried to back it out a little bit to adjust the rotation of the endoscope, but then I stripped the set screw, so it's just kind of in that, at that angle now. It's just kind of annoying. So I'm going to need this. I am going to have to reprint this part because of that. I wasn't going to before because it's polycarbonate, but I am now. Kind of annoying. Oh, that bar cooling fan stopped. There, it's going again. So here you can see the magnets I had to glue onto the fans to get them to spin. There's also one back there. Yeah, it's still spinning. The excess pellet right now is just wrapped around the cable. Let's go back to nozzle cam. Nozzle cam is what everyone wants. Everyone meaning myself, because no one else is here. There's about an hour left on this print. It says an hour 7 minutes. Could be a little longer, could be a little shorter. I don't know how accurate the guesstimation for this printer is yet. But man, this is awesome. I really need to get the insulation, just the foam insulation for the outside to help cut down on the reverberations from the aluminum enclosure. Because, man, it's vibrating. Like, it just has a bunch of funky resonances in it. It's kind of acting like a speaker where the large aluminum panels are just making it everything louder. Gee, this is going so good though. I think on Big Printer it took me like 3 or 4 like failed prints before I got one to finish. And crossing my fingers that this one finishes. I mean, this looks like it's going a lot better than it did on Big Printer. Kind of wonder if it'd look a little better with the 2 functioning nozzle LEDs turned off. I just use the one that's on the endoscope. Let's see. Nozzle LEDs are off, and honestly, it looks about the same. Maybe a little worse because now all the light's just coming from the front. It's not balancing as well. Let's try turning that back on. Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm hoping that with all the nozzle LEDs on, it will look a little better than this. Also, if I use a darker plastic, it'll probably look better. Right now, it's just kind of washed out. Man, this is so cool though. Probably put that back. I think I have the travel set to 200 millimeters per second. 2 or 300, I forget. Looked like it was 200. And outer wall is 30, everything else is 60. I think top and bottom was set to 45. Works! I've been working on this since, I want to say, like November or October. Granted, for the first like month it was just CAD. For the first like 2 weeks it was just CAD, then I ordered parts and that took about a month to come. Yeah. The frame, I ordered that from the extrusions from Ziltech, I think, along with stepper motors. I think that was all I got for them. I also got these aviation connectors up there that are connected to and I got a bunch of blind joints from Ziltech. Most of everything else I got from AliExpress. The ball screw I got from Ziltech. The aluminum plates I got from, I think it was Midwest Steel Aluminum Supply. They ship fast enough. Not sponsored, by the way. No one knows about me, so no one will give me money. Or free stuff. One of the very convenient things I've found from working on this is if I need to make a small adjustment to the hot end or just the print head in general, I have it set up so I just undo, what was that, 4 connections and then it's removed. So I have, the heater is running through a XT30. The stepper motor, it has 2 JST, little red ones. I don't know if they're actual names, they're just JST connectors. And then I have the 10-pin aviation for everything else. If I got a 16-pin aviation, I could have got everything through it. But I messed up. So now we're using a 10-pin and 2 others. And honestly, it's fine because I was kind of concerned about the heater cartridge current going through just the aviation connector. Then with the XT30, it's not going to be a problem. On the water-cooled print head, I have a 12-volt heater for it that I'm going to run at 24 volts because I want to heat up really fast and get to high temps fast. It might fail, I don't know, but because the power is voltage times resistance, I think, if I just so 40, that means like 30 or 40 watt 12 volt heater. If I run it at 24 volts, it'll be 60 or 80 watt heater. It's not rated for that kind of power, so again, it might fail, but we'll see. Honestly, I think a lot of the artifacting might just be from the 3.6 degree steps. That because of the way it's belted. Yeah, I'll get rid of this thing. Oh, look in there. far from a perfect benchy, but it's the first print. Haven't calibrated anything yet. I didn't even tune the E-steps. So I would call this acceptable. The VzBot motion parts really are incredible. They were very nice to install and work with. I just realized I was using the microphone on the wide camera the whole time, so that probably sounded like shit. Is it still using it? No. Okay, so now it's using one of my laptop. So you should actually be able to hear me now. Oh, I feel stupid for that. Sorry, guys. For the 2 people who've seen this. I'm so happy I have a nozzle cam. That's so cool. This is incredible. I actually do think a lot of the artifacting is just from the 3.6 degree steps. That's a very easy fix. The print head seems to be staying on fine. We should be able to see any like vibrations on it in the nozzle cam. It seems to be doing fine. I'm not seeing any obvious like cases where it's like wiggling left to right or front to back. Because once again, what is actually printing is just held onto the moving bits with a couple magnets. There's no rigid attachment whatsoever. It's just being pulled on really hard by some magnets. And it is working great. No complaints here so far. I'm using 1" by 1/8" samarian cobalt magnets because they can withstand a higher temperature than neodymium. And this is going to be inside of a heated chamber, so that actually kind of matters. I know they get weaker as the temperature goes up, but this is kind of just a test machine. We will see how high they can go before they mess everything up and fall off. At least at ambient, it's fine. Just realized another chamber heater thermistor inside the chamber. I mean, it's an open chamber right now, so it doesn't really matter, but still like it to be inside. I am hearing some cracking, so I think the ABS might be warping a fair bit, which makes sense. I think it's ambient air around it, and it's pretty fairly cool. And I have part cooling maxed out. But damn, does it look good. The motors are warm. They're not uncomfortable by any means. Like, it might only be like 40 or 50 Celsius. That's for the AB. The Z motor, again, it feels like it's about body temp. So nothing's getting too hot, which is good. The power plug, which I have had issues with heating up before, it's cool to the touch, which is a great sign. Same with the power cable. Now I don't have a chamber heater up yet, so this is about half of the max power that this thing will be able to use. It's working so well though. I'm very happy. I really hope adding 1 or 2 inch polyiso insulation on the outside cuts down the sound. You could also just put more bolts between. Yeah, I could attach the frame better, or I could attach the siding of like the aluminum sides onto the aluminum extrusions a bit better. Right now it's only around the perimeter. I don't have any on the verticals. Just, if I tap it, it's rattly. Damn, it's working. Jeez, it's like so much work, and it's doing it. Incredibly excited. From here on out, this should be able to print its own parts. One upgrade I might eventually do is add a bird air on the the moving part. That's just pointing at a height that I can model all the nozzles to be approximately at, or all the print heads to approximately be at. That would kind of solve the problem of the part cooling fans. And it would also allow the heatsink fan to work a lot better if I don't have the part cooling fans on there. Because the magnets I have on the part cooling fans to make them spin also make the heatsink fan spin a little slower. Yeah, that's one pretty big downside with using magnets for the retention mechanism. It's just fans don't like strong magnetic fields, apparently. But you can use more magnets to fix that. It's just so cool. I think next print is benchy under an hour. This printer should be able to do it. Oh, 7 people have seen this stream. That's awesome. And the print quality really is not that bad. It's just, I'm gonna pull up the moving cam again. Like, it's not that horrible. Like, especially for the first print. This really could be a lot worse. Part of that is because I'm gearing the way that these 1.8 degree stepper motors are geared. If I flip the pulleys, I'll go from 3.6 degrees steps to 0.9. which would be a pretty big improvement. I honestly just forgot to change that back. I need to. And it's working though. This is, what, the third attempt? It's the only attempt that was able to finish the first layer is also going to finish. Which I think is pretty incredible. Took a lot more than that before Big Printer got its first. I'm so happy with this. I definitely need to tune the E steps though. So it's 55% done. It's saying there's about 43 minutes remaining. That's I mean, better than I could have expected. and when it finishes the print, it will, well, it should go and dock the tool again, dock the print head, put it away. And I don't actually know where the gantry will move to. It'll move somewhere. Probably stays towards the back. Man, I made this. This is the tool changing printer that I'm just finishing up. It's the first time it's ever printing. Yes, I have big printer, a little Ender 3, and now this. I've called this thing so many names, I don't know what I've told you before. It's like new printer. New printer. It's the new printer, basically. It is a custom Core XY tool changer using some VzBot gantry parts. Inspiration taken from a variety of sources as to the tool changing mechanism. Everything's designed by me except the VzBot gantry parts. And it works. Yeah, this is what's next to big printer. Here. I can switch this. So, new printer, big printer. Big printer is a lot bigger. Big printer is what's holding the streaming setup. Yeah. It works. Yeah, the print volume on this is roughly a cubic foot. So it's 12 by 12 by roughly 14 for the height. This one is about 18 by 18 for the bed, and it can go up about 30 inches. How's it can? Yo, we've got 2 viewers moving up in life. Where'd dog go? I think my dog said I'm too loud and he went upstairs. Get another print quality check. Print quality is still acceptable. Still far from perfect, but far from terrible. Which is really all I can ask for the first print. And once again, a lot of that is just because of the way I have the steppers pulleyed or geared down. I'm kind of regretting getting a ball screw for the Z-axis. You can see it sticking up in the back. It sticks up further than where the highest the bed will be, which means that the print heads will knock into it. So I have to kind of have all the pickup and storing things move around it. If it was a lead screw, I'd just cut it down, but ball screws are expensive and I don't want to do that. Even though it was just like I think it was like a $50 or $60 ball screw, it still feels kind of bad because I can just replace it with a lead screw and use it for something else eventually. The overhangs are all pretty good. Can we see the license plate? Kind of see it. Yeah, the wheel is there. The wall is a little wobbly, but again, that's just because I think part of that's because I never calibrated the E-steps. Part cooling. On the corner, you can see the part cooling is not the greatest. Carbon fiber tube keeps smacking to the phone. But, I mean, it works. That's all I can really ask for the first print ever. Sorry. So that's the print head. You can kind of see where when it's moving, you can kind of see the air gap. There's this tiny air gap between the retention magnet and the pulling magnets on the moving part. That's just because I don't want them to actually be touching. They're held like within a fraction of a millimeter apart. They're not losing too much pull power. It's a Sherpa Mini. And the magnets that are glued onto the fan so that they spin. Let's turn on the flash. Yeah, the part cooling fan, you can see the little magnet. That's just there to kind of push the magnetic field of the large print head holding on magnets away from the sensitive fan. And there's also one of those on the front. Which is that spinning? Yeah, it is. Okay. Kind of worried that the heatsink fan is going to stop spinning at one point. That would not be good. Go back to nozzle. it just layer shift? Ow! No! It's doing so good! Oh, it did shift! Oh, this is a tragedy. That sucks. I mean, the tool didn't fall off, which is a good sign. I've preferred no layer shift, obviously. Looks like it was back to the right, so I think one of the stepper drivers might have overheated and just messed up. We lost a step or two. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the recording afterwards to see what happened. The layer shifted. I don't know how obvious it is, but like when it's moving across the 4 pillars, you can kind of see that it's not perfectly straight up, which is what it should be. So, somewhere along the way, lost a step or two. Stepper motors are like temperature of the body. Ooh, ow. Oh, yeah, those 2209s are very hot. Ooh, yeah, I bet that's what it is. Driver 4 was complaining earlier about overheating. If I were a betting man, I'd say that's what happened. There haven't been any overheating warnings since 556. It's now 707, but it happens. Oh, that sucks. I was hoping for a perfect first sprint. Could be worse. Yeah, I'm just pushing these like little 2209 drivers too hard. I just got my replacement 5160s in from Mello because they originally sent me ones that weren't working. Whether or not that was something I did or if they were sent that way, I'm not sure. I need to set up the 5160s and get them installed. That way I can also have 3 extra stepper slots in my control board for the remaining 3 tools. I don't know if I've talked about it that much, especially on the YouTube channel, but the plan is to have 3 print heads and 1 laser engraver. And I have 2 air-cooled print heads already made. Well, one of them is fully made, obviously, it's running right now. The other, I just need to make the connectors for basically and wire it up. Then the third one, I just got the water block for it because that's going to be water cooled for higher chamber temps. Hopefully it doesn't lose many more steps. Oh, I'm so sad that I did that though. That is one of the spots where I don't know if you've done speed printing before, anyone who's watching this. But when speed printing, that is one of the spots where benchy will mess up. There are a couple others, like early on, as it's starting to do the top layers at the bottom of the hull, like the floor of the benchy. That's one spot. That's another spot is when it's doing the bridging up top for the roof of the cabin. Man, so close. This isn't even that fast. Let's see. Yeah, print head's still on pretty solid. Once I get the 5160 drivers installed, overheating of the stepper drivers shouldn't be as big of an issue because 5160s have external MOSFETs and bigger heat sinks basically. So those should do a little better. Also, I've heard they don't get as hot. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll find out. Ah, no, they broke off. Yeah, see, this is the other spot where speed printing will fail. It is when it's starting to do this bridging up here. Do the little arc. Okay, hope it doesn't completely knock everything off. If it can finish, I'll let it finish. Ah, it's so frustrating. Yeah, it keeps getting worse and worse. That stupid layer shift. Ah! As long as one more doesn't snap off, it should be fine. Oh, and there we go. Okay, yeah, it's just fucked. Ah. Yeah, okay, all four of them were detached. Oh, that's great. Stop the print. Dang. Cancel print. Let's put the tool away. Oh, it lost steps, so this isn't going to work, actually. I should have homed X and Y first. Look, it's not going to be in the right spot, so it's going to, like, fuck around for a bit. Ah, it went on. Yeah, that worked better than expected. Gimme. Oh, wow, that layered adhesion was obviously an issue at the start. Printing too cold. It's not a good sign the bottom of the benchy stays on the plate. Oh yeah, this is so under extruded. Here, right here. I can just crumble it in my hand. That's not good. Okay, so I need to tune the E-steps. Raise the temp a little bit. Yeah, even switch the camera. So right here, if you look, the walls weren't bonding together at all. That's another indication I just need to tune the E-steps. I think you can see that. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that, make another attempt another day. That's sad. And I noticed that the E-steps were off a while ago. I mean, it got this far. Yeah, for a first sprint, it went pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, that's not much else I can do right now. I'm hungry and I need to do homework, so I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you for watching. Bye.